Hey guys, what is going on? Today we are going to be doing a little bit of like a miscellaneous tips video. Essentially, I have been gathering sort of tips and tricks and stuff that is actually very, very cool about Vanguard. Some stuff that's pretty basic, designed for beginners and stuff like that. And then other tips that we've got here will be a little bit more advanced, sort of at the middle of the road player. But hopefully there is going to be something that does help you out regardless of how good you are at Call of Duty. Just before we do get into some of the tips here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it really does help me out. And while you're there as well, make sure you hit the like button on this one as well, because that really does help get these videos to more eyes and help cut through the YouTube algorithm, which is just absolutely massive these days. So let's talk some tips here. I don't exactly know how many we have. I've got a list, but I actually haven't counted it yet. So it's probably going to be in the title, in the description, in the thumbnail and stuff like that. So let's see how we go here. So starting us off here, we do actually have something pretty basic, and you might see it in a lot of my videos, is that we actually do have a square minimap, which actually does provide you with about 15 to 20% more minimap over the circle, which I believe is the default option. So if you are still playing with a circle minimap, go into the interface section, scroll all the way down until you see the HUD elements. Minimap shape, change this from circle to square, because as you can see in this little picture here, you do get the extra corners. You get about 15% more minimap, which is a really, really nice boost. Basically, in Call of Duty, it's a game all about information. If you have more information than your opponents, you will likely get more kills. If you are looking to get as much experience as possible, make sure you do check out the Blitz playlist. Basically, at the moment, as of recording this video, Sledgehammer was kind enough to add into the game a Das House 24/7 playlist, which is basically one of the game's best close range maps. And that is where you're going to do a lot of leveling up, man. I'm serious. This thing is an absolute shoot house level map here. It's just close range combat all the time. So if you are looking to rank up as fast as possible, make sure you check out these faster playlists. But not only that, just play in the Blitz mode as well. So as I'm sure you're probably aware by now, there are a lot of destructible environments within Vanguard. This being one of them on, I believe this is Hotel Royale. Essentially, all you have to do, and this can be done on pretty much any destructible wall in the game. If you do a little shoot, you basically get a really sweet line of sight. And again, this can apply to many of the destructible walls in the game. Most people aren't immediately going to look at this and be like, yeah, there's somebody in this peephole, let's shoot it up. But they will probably light this up anyway, and then you'll probably end up with no window. So just keep an eye out. If you are trying to get a nice little peephole on somebody, be aware that you are probably going to be an easy target immediately. If we take a look at this from a different angle, if we run all the way over here, jump through here, get that a smash. If we take a look at this from the reverse angle, we can see, again, a nice little bit of a punch hole that we can make here. You can see people running through this way. If they do come in here, you can get an easy kill on them. So make sure you use that destructible environment to your advantage. Make sure you shoot out a couple of panels so you can get a nice little shot on people just like this here. You can actually use doors to your advantage as well. A lot of people did see that they were adding doors into Vanguard, and they were like, oh no, Modern Warfare, it's back, Modern Warfare 2. But if you walk up to the doors, you give them a little love tap, little shoot, you can actually see through them. The destruction on the doors is actually pretty nice. You can see we can see pretty easily back into that little spawn there. If somebody does come this way, we can essentially just light them up, spray them down. And people are less likely to be able to see somebody who is standing at a doorway like that. If you just see that, you're probably not going to notice if you're just running past. If you're just walking past, minding your own business, say you're sprinting this way, depending on how they are sprinting, you might not even see anybody at the door. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you check doors. But if you are doing this, you can get a nice little line of sight through some punch holes on some doors. If you're noticing that your game does look a little bit blurry, just slightly blurry like mine does here, it's basically because the game isn't actually sharp enough and you haven't actually applied any sort of graphics driver settings or anything like that to sharpen up the image. But try this setting out if you've not already done so. Make sure you go into the settings, the quality tab, scroll all the way down to until we see the post-processing effects. Fidelity FX CAS, turn this on. Then press apply. If you look at the Fidelity FX CAS strength, this is usually set to 0.8 by default. Make sure you set this to 1.0 and then press apply and then go back into the game, and you'll see it is a lot sharper here. There's no more blurry effect on the game, and you will be able to see people a lot more easily here. If you are struggling a little bit with leveling up weapons, like it's taking a while to unlock some decent attachments for specific guns, make sure you do check out the operator tab first. If we do take a look at the operator tab, we can see that every single one of these operators does actually have a favorite weapon. We take a look at Solange here. Her favorite weapon is the NZ41. Now what this means, if you do use this combination of Solange, and the NZ41, you will get bonus experience for that weapon and this operator, as well as a nice little combo here. Same applies to every single operator in the game, and I'm sure this is going to apply to future operators as well. When a new gun does come out, I'm sure their favorite weapon is going to be one of the new DLC weapons. So just keep an eye out for this if you are trying to level up your weapons as quickly as possible. Check out the operator tab first. In terms of what field upgrade you should use, definitely check out Dead Silence here. Dead Silence does of course do that usual thing where it does temporarily make your footsteps silent, but it also makes you undetectable by spy planes, enemy intel, and field microphones. Gun, melee, and throwing knife kills also refresh the duration of this. That is very standard as we have seen throughout previous Call of Duty games. But as I said, this makes you undetectable by spy planes, so this basically gives you Ghost as well. So if you are looking for like the ultimate stealth combo, make sure you throw together something like an MX Silence or your favorite suppressor, or the Subsonic Ammo, Dead Silence, and Ninja for, as I said, the ultimate stealth build here. So just keep this in mind if you are still looking for a field upgrade. This actually might not be happening to everybody who does play on PC, but it is currently happening to me. Every time I do sort of close the game, I'll open it back up and then I'll check my graphic settings, and they're all changed. We do have them set quite low as it is, just so we get a decent amount of frame rate when we are playing in the game. There's a lot of explosions and stuff, so we don't want to reduce our frame rate if possible. My PC is a little bit of a potato, but that's alright, it is what it is. But again, just double check your graphic settings. If like me, your graphic settings are changing on their own when you do close the game, make sure you change them back if you are looking to save some frame rate here. You're probably looking at some of these proficiencies and actually wondering what they do, particularly something like a vital one. This does say that it increases the size of the critical hit areas on enemies, but what does that actually mean? Basically, you know how you deal headshot damage, that is a critical hit or considered a critical hit area in this particular game. When you do have the vital perk added, that actually takes the vital area from just your head, makes it also your upper torso. So you essentially deal a weapon's vital hit damage, which is usually like a headshot multiplier or something like that. That also applies to the upper torso area. Now, because this is actually super strong, I think it already got hotfixed recently to just make it a little bit worse than it used to be, because this actually used to just be one of the most dominant things in the game. So the vital perk, if you're wondering what it does, essentially means you can get sort of headshot damage from like this area up. If you are coming straight from Cold War and you're wondering why the minimap is a little bit different, this is because Vanguard actually uses Modern Warfare style of minimap system, meaning that people who fire unsuppressed weapons won't immediately appear on the minimap unless you are running the radar perk. If you are looking for more of a traditional Call of Duty experience in which you do actually appear on the minimap when you are firing an unsuppressed weapon, you'll definitely want to be running the radar perk. It's a little bit unfortunate that this actually does compete with the forward intel perk as well, which is one of the strongest perks in the game as well. I haven't unlocked it yet, but I'm sure I will do soon. But again, if you are looking for more of that traditional sort of minimap style experience, when people do fire unsuppressed weapons with the radar perk equipped, they will appear on your minimap, meaning you can track them down, you can hunt them down, you can find people way more easily here. This is also why it is pretty important to either run the subsonic ammo or of course a suppressor in the game at the moment. You probably know this already, but in the preseason or the Season 6 Battle Pass, there are actually some Vanguard exclusive weapons here, something like a Bone Rattler variant for this particular weapon, which is the STG-44, which is one of the most powerful weapons in the game. I'm sure you know that by now. If we do take a look at our armory, we can see that there is a bunch of different stuff within the assault rifle category, as well as the SMG stuff. We got like a Wildwood, a Shredder, the Thunderhead's also in there as well. There's just a lot of cool variants within the Battle Pass, so definitely if you are still looking for some easy attachments, especially something like a Warning Track or a Rat-a-tat, which actually do feature the Vital perk, which is one of the later unlocks for the STG, make sure you do try getting those Battle Pass levels done as well. As you can see by my STG 44 level, we actually haven't unlocked the Bayonet yet, but if you were looking for a dumb Modern Warfare 2 style Commando Pro experience in which you can melee lunge people from across the map, the Bayonet attachment is absolutely hilarious in the underbarrel slot. Essentially, this gives you increased melee damage, increased melee range, and you can melee launch people from basically across the map. It is very, very similar to Commando Pro from previous games, which is absolutely hilarious. I haven't unlocked this yet, and when we do eventually unlock this, I'm sure we'll make a video on it because it is super, super funny, really dumb, and actually quite broken. Very, very powerful in this game. If you are looking for a bit of variety with your attachments, the muzzle slot and the ammo slot can kind of be interchangeable. What I mean by that is, of course, if you are running an MX silencer or something like a Mercury silencer, you do not need to run the subsonic ammunitions. The minimap ping also does not apply if you are using a suppressed weapon in this game, which is actually very, very cool. So if for some reason you are still running the subsonic ammunition and of course the MX silencer, make sure you drop one of them. I would recommend probably keeping the MX silencer as an example on the STG, and then picking up something like the incendiary rounds for that extra damage, which is just goofy as hell, or even the lengthened bullets, which basically increase your bullet velocity by about 40%, which is a really, really nice boost. So again, don't double up with the subsonic ammo and of course the silencer because they do sort of cancel each other out here. So don't tell anyone that I did tell you this, but the top break pistol actually features a Akimbo, as you can see in the proficiency section, but it also in the ammo type section. The M15 shot shell increases your damage radius, so the 357 snake shots back, boys. Don't tell anyone. But make sure if you are looking to sort of get something like this, make sure you pop a double XP token or wait until the double XP weapon to level this thing up, because it will go by super quickly, and once you do level this thing up, I'm sure it will get nerfed, because from what I've been hearing, This is actually really, really good, exactly the same as it was in Modern Warfare with the 357 Snake Shot. So just try this out, man. Make sure you level this thing up because this is going to be goofy. Another cool little tip here is this particular spot on Gavutu. You really can tell whether people played it in the beta or not. Man, like, you can just see a lot of the time when you are playing on Gavutu, people will be sitting in this spot right here. They'll just be on the boat deck. They'll be looking out over this area and just making sure people don't come up from that way. There's a lot of people who do sit in this area here, and you can tell whether they played the beta or not by whether they actually know that this ladder exists. Because, I mean, this spot is absolutely insane. They haven't fixed it either. Maybe that's some little holes in here, make this like really short. I mean, but if you look over here, you basically get full map control. You can see all the way into there. I hate how this gun actually fills up the side of your screen, but you can see there, you can see there, you can see so much of this map. But you can see pretty much all the map here. This is a ridiculously powerful spot here. You can actually get shot through this. It's not actually invincible or anything like that. You can get shot through this, so just keep this in mind. But again, as I said, if you aren't using this spot, like if you're just chilling on the deck here, just waiting and minding your own business here, getting some shots on people, make sure you do try this spot out as well. Climb up here and just get some easy picks on people because this is a really, really nice spot that people underutilize still. Alrighty guys, so hopefully that did help you out a little bit. I think we managed to get 15 tips in there. If you do want to see more videos like this, or if you do have tips that you have, make sure you do drop them in the comments below. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it. It really does help me out. And while you are there as well, make sure you hit that like button as well, just to get these videos to as many eyes as possible, get as many people in the community that we are growing so we can all talk about Call of Duty together. And thank you very much for watching, as I said, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!